Hey guys, welcome back to Your Mindset, Your Power. If you have ever said, I'm in a rut and I don't know how to get out, this episode is for you. There is a quiet kind of a stillness, one that doesn't look obvious from the outside. You're doing the right things, you're responsible, you show up, but inside, life feels flat, predictable. Nothing is wrong, but something feels missing. And slowly, a story starts to form. I don't enjoy anything anymore. I feel lost. If any of that feels familiar, you're not alone, my friend. Listen, when one of my clients tells me they're in a rut, my first question isn't what's wrong. It's where has life stopped expanding? Where have you stopped exploring? Because being in a rut doesn't mean something is wrong with you, my friend. It usually means something wants and needs to change. And that's what I want to talk about today. Not forcing motivation, not overhauling your life, but how curiosity, small intentional curiosity, can create movement again and help you reconnect with a sense of aliveness, one step at a time. So if any of this feels familiar, the flatness, the routine, the sense that something is missing, I want you to know this. What you are experiencing has a name, and more importantly, it has a way through. I want to help you understand what a rut really is, not as a problem to fix, but as a signal that something wants to grow. Because most ruts are not crises. They are rooms you have outgrown. The room once fit you. It supported you. It made sense for who you were at the time. But you have grown, and the room hasn't. So life starts to feel tight, flat. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you have stayed in the same space for too long. And once you understand that, everything starts to make sense. Because when life feels stuck on repeat, most people think the problem is motivation, and it's not. What I see over and over again is something else. It's not that you don't want more, it's that your energy is tied up in the past, replaying what you miss, what used to be, or what you think you should feel different by now. And when your attention leaves there, movement feels impossible. Here's a simple perspective shift I often use in coaching. You can't build your future while emotionally investing in your past. No, my friend. That doesn't mean forgetting about where you came from. It means noticing where your energy is going. If most of it is spent thinking, analyzing, or looping, there is very little left for action. And that's where the rut deepens. So instead of asking, why do I feel like this? Try asking a more useful question. What is one small action I could take today that would make me feel more alive? Not happier, not more confident, just more engaged. Because aliveness doesn't come from clarity, my friend. It comes from engagement. Doing something slightly new, slightly unfamiliar, slightly outside your usual pattern. Ruts are mental loops. The same thoughts, the same doubts, the same internal conversations on repeat. And the only way out of the loop is movement. And that movement can look like signing up for something you have been thinking about, exploring an interest without needing to commit, saying yes to one experience instead of defaulting to no. And when you do that, something important happens. Your mind has something new to focus on. Your energy shifts from draining to building. And your nervous system learns that discomfort doesn't mean danger. This is not about figuring out your whole life, my friend. It's about asking yourself, what am I investing in today? My past or my future? Because every small step towards curiosity is an investment. And when you have something to look forward to, even something small and simple, your inner world starts to change. Not all at once, but enough to create momentum. And this is where curiosity becomes more than an idea. It becomes a practice. So in the next part, I want to walk you through a simple exercise I use with my clients. One of my favorite tools for breaking out of the rut is something I call the future self exercise. It's simple, but it's so powerful. Imagine it's 1 year from now. You have moved forward. Life is not perfect. You have made mistakes, taken small steps, learned, grown. But you are living, you're engaged, and connected to what excites you. Now picture that future version of yourself looking back at today's you. The you who feels unfulfilled, stuck, or living on autopilot. Ask yourself, what would you tell me today? What advice would you give me to start moving? Pause. Let that future voice speak, even if it's just a whisper. Because when I have tried this with my young adults I coach, their expressions in their faces usually completely change. They realize they have never considered that the future could guide their present. It's very powerful. Think of it like opening a window in a stuffy room. The room hasn't changed. The same walls, the same air, but the moment you open the window, fresh air moves in. You feel it on your skin. You can breathe better. One small step toward curiosity works the same way. Suddenly, your energy shifts. Your perspective shifts. And suddenly, life feels breathable again. And here's why it works. When you are in a rut, your mind wants to replay the past. It asks, why do I feel like this? The future self exercise interrupts that loop. It shifts your focus from what you can control to what you can create, one small action at a time. Curiosity is what turns small steps into movement and energy, my friend. It's what makes life feel interesting again, even when your routine feels safe and predictable. Here's the truth. You don't need motivation to get out of the rut. You don't need perfect clarity about the future. What you need is simply curiosity, being curious. What happens if I try this? What could I learn if I explore? How would I feel if I said yes just this once? It's a question, not a demand. It moves you toward action, the very thing your mind and body crave when life feels flat. Listen, guys, when my son went to college, I felt a little in a rut myself, like life had lost some excitement. Instead of staying there, I explored something new I could do with my extra time, something that could bring joy and purpose to my life. I started listening to podcasts, and listen, one episode led me to life coaching. I signed up and it changed everything. It gave me energy, purpose, motivation, got me out of the repetitive loop. Ruts are like a hamster on a wheel. Same thoughts, same doubts, running endlessly, but going nowhere. Curiosity is the door to step off the wheel for a moment, stretch, and explore. One small action, a class, a conversation, an idea, shift your mind and your energy completely. That tiny break can create momentum. All right, my friend, let's wrap this up. Here's what matters most. Feeling stuck doesn't mean something is wrong. It means something wants to expand. Your future self can guide you. Curiosity creates movement. Small actions interrupt draining loops and restore energy. Flat doesn't mean finished. It usually means it's time to explore again. So here's what I want you to feel as we close today. Life isn't waiting for you to feel ready. The room isn't going to magically feel fresh unless you open the window. The hamster on the wheel won't stop unless you step off for a moment. So I invite you to ask yourself, what is one small thing I can explore today that will help me feel more engaged with life? Then do just that. Not perfect, just intentional. Because the life you want isn't far away, my friend. It's waiting in the next small step you take. Take that step, feel it, and watch as your world begins to shift around you. Thanks so much for being here, my friend. Thanks for listening. And listen, if this episode resonates with you, share it and subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. And remember, your mindset is not just how you think. It's where your power begins. Have an amazing week.